Hello, everybody. Welcome back to lesson 9.5. We are going to have about 3 more lessons in chapter 9, and then we're going to be taking a project or taking a test and doing a project. So this lesson is a lot of review. We have our formulas for the area of our 2D shapes as we studied in last chapter and the chapter before. And what we're going to do now is use the Pythagorean theorem to help us solve area and perimeter problems. So here we look at an isosceles triangle. And an isosceles triangle has 2 sides the same, so we have these tick marks. So we know that these 2 sides, the left and right side, are both 10 centimeters. And what we can do is split this triangle right down the middle and cut it up into 2 triangles. And once we cut it up into 2 triangles, we can then find the height of one of the triangles. And then we can use base times height divided by 2, which is the area of a triangle formula. So as we cut this triangle right down the middle, since it's an isosceles triangle, we're going to have the same left and right triangles, exactly the same. So this 12 is going to be cut in half, and it turns into 6 and 6. And so we're going to have this right triangle left with 6, our right angle, h, and 10. So remember the hypotenuse, that's always opposite the right angle. So that 10 is the hypotenuse, that's the largest side. So that's the part that's going to be over here by itself. And then we'll have 6 squared plus h squared. And so those are the 2 legs, 6 squared plus h squared equals 10 squared. That's just the Pythagorean theorem we've been working on in this chapter. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and just take 6 squared, 36, take 10 squared, 100, calculate those. And then we'll subtract 36 from both sides. 100 minus 36 is 64. And then what number squared equals 64? So you could think about like 5 squared, 6 squared, 7 squared, 8 squared. And yes, 8 squared is 64. 8 times 8 is 64. But if you don't know that, you can take the square root. So the square root of 64, and I'm on my other calculator, so I can't, or other computer, so I don't have the graphing calculator to show you, but remember it's the second exponent key. So square root of 64 is 8. So now that we know the height is 8, we can go ahead and use our base times height divided by 2 formula for the area of a triangle. So the base of the whole triangle is 12. The height is 8. And then we go ahead and divide by 2. So 12 times 8 divided by 2. 12 times 8 is 96. 96 divided by 2 is 48. And there we go. That's the area of our triangle. Our next one, we're going to go ahead and take this trapezoid. And what we want to do is split it up into, well, we could split it up into a rectangle and a triangle. Or we could just use the area of a trapezoid formula. So let's look at what they give us. They give us this bottom base, 8, 4 and 4 is 8. Top base is 4. We don't know the height though. So to find the height, we look at this right triangle and we use the Pythagorean theorem. So 4 squared plus h squared equals 6.4 squared. Same thing as the problem before, we square each of those, then we subtract, and we end up with h squared equals 24.96. Then we take the square root of that, and we get about 5. So I'll encourage the teacher to pause it here so everybody has a chance to write that down. So that's the height of our trapezoid. Then we go ahead and plug that into our formula. We know base 1 is across here, 8. We know the other base is up here, 4. And the height of the trapezoid is what we just calculated, 5. And then we divide that by 2, since that's the area of our trapezoid formula. So 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. And 60 divided by 2 would be 30. So there we go, 30 centimeters squared. And then they do ask us for the perimeter. So to find the perimeter, we just add these sides together. So 8 plus 6.4 plus 4. And then this is 5. So we just add those together. So I'll stop this video here and finish it on video 2 for this lesson.